Hey everyone. Now earlier today I ended up buying 3 books from Second and Charles in Bossier City, and I want to go ahead and share these with you right now. Alright, first up is Civil War 2, number 1. Now this is the beginning of this new series where they find out about an Inhuman. Now the Marvel Universe is divided onto in terms of what they want to do with them. Some want to use them as a weapon, and some of them want to use them, and some of them just want them to live a normal life. It all starts here. And then up next is Civil War 2, number 2. This is part 2 of that book. And one team, by the way, is led by Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. The other one is Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. Then finally, Amazing Spider-Man number 13. This is part 2 of the Power Play story arc. And just when we think that he was left behind in Secret Wars, think again. Regent made his debut in Amazing Spider-Man number 12. And it's not looking good for a good old webhead. Alright, that's 3 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,385. Watch. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. We're coming to you from Clint's Comics here in Monroe, Louisiana. And this past Sunday, the Cleveland Cavaliers won their first ever NBA title by defeating the Golden State Warriors in 7 games. And to commemorate that, I made this Cleveland Cavaliers themed Comic Hero tee. And to go along with it, I bought this Cleveland Cavaliers hat. So congratulations to the organization and the city of Cleveland. 52 years is a long time. Alright. Let's give away a free t-shirt. Alright, last week's episode, I asked, who created Wonder Woman? Well, the correct answer is William Moulton Marston. Or you could have used his pen name, Charles Moulton. I would have accepted either answer. And 3 people have answered correctly, so I'm going to go ahead and draw their names. So the winner of the free Comic Hero tee for this week is Mary Leonard from Franklin, Louisiana. So congratulations, Mary. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right, here's the question for next week's episode. And this one is very easy. What is the Green Lantern Oath? Yeah, Will. I will let you answer that off camera. I will allow you to answer that off camera. Not now. Don't want to spoil it for all the viewers. Alright, everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free Comic Hero tee. Alright. Now, the evil twin, Brandon Ringo from West Monroe, Louisiana, has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one is full of absolutely nothing but violence. Representing Marvel, we have the Saint of Killers. And also representing Marvel, we have Wolverine. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's the Saint of Killers versus Wolverine. By the way, my apologies. The Saint of Killers is a Vertigo character. The Saint of Killers possesses divinity, omnipotence, immortality, invulnerability, superhuman strength, superhuman speed, superhuman stamina, extrasensory perception, physiological manipulation, or density, a magic gun, outstanding swordsman and marksman, master tracker, no need for air, food, or water, and multiple magical powers. Wolverine is a master martial artist who possesses a regenerative healing factor, adamantium-plated skeletal structure, and retractable claws,
superhuman senses, reflexes, and animal-like attributes and extended longevity. Who will win? You may think this fight can end in a draw, but think again. Wolverine would charge towards the Saint, but the Saint would magically strip Wolverine of the adamantium covering his entire skeletal structure. This angers Wolverine, and he becomes berserk. However, before Wolverine can make his next move, the Saint uses super speed and shoots Wolverine in both the brain and the heart, killing him instantly. The Saint of Killers wins. And that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown!
Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown, and I will have a new one next week. But if you want to request one for a future episode, contact info is down there. Alright, now, last week, I thought was the conclusion to the Black Panther Comicology 101 series. I made a little error, as Spock would say. It was a little error in judgment. I thought it was conclusion, but then while I was doing it, I realized that it was too long. So I had to make it short, and I had to divide it. So this is the conclusion. This is also the part 2 of the character history of Black Panther. So I hope you enjoy. So ladies and gentlemen, class is now in session.
Welcome back to the Comicology 101 series of the Black Panther. Today I'll conclude with the second half of the fictional character history. Years after his engagement to Monica Lynn, the Panther accepts a Washington, D.C. envoy, Everett K. Ross, and faces multiple threats to Wakanda's sovereignty. Ross assists him in many of these threats. In gratitude, the Panther often risks much for Ross in return. The first threat he and Ross encounter is X-Con, an alliance of rogue intelligence agents backing up a coup led by the Reverend Achibi. Afterward, Killmonger resurfaces with a plot to destroy Wakanda's economy. This forces T'Challa to nationalize foreign companies. Killmonger then defeats him in ritual combat, thus inheriting the role of Black Panther, but falls into a coma upon eating the heart-shaped herb, poisonous to anyone outside the royal bloodline, which had a hereditary immunity to its toxic effects. T'Challa preserves his rival's life rather than allowing him to die. Later, T'Challa finds he has a brain aneurysm like his alternate future self and succumbs to instability and hallucinations. After his mental state almost causes tribal warfare, the Panther hands power to his council and hides in New York City. There, he mentors police officer Casper Cole, who had adopted an abandoned Panther costume, an experience that gives T'Challa the strength to face his illness, reclaim his position, and return to active membership in the Avengers, whom he helps secure special United Nations status. T'Challa then helps his old flame Ororo Monroe reunite with her surviving family members in Africa and the US. He shortly afterwards proposes, and the two are married in a large Wakanda ceremony attended by many superheroes. One of the couple's first tasks is to embark on a diplomatic tour in which they visit the Inhumans, Dr. Doom, the President of the United States, and Namor, with only that last ending well. After the death of Bill Foster, the Black Panther and Storm side with Captain America's anti-registration forces. During the in-battle between both sides, the Wakanda embassy in Manhattan is heavily damaged, though no Wakandans are hurt. After the confrontation, the Panther and Storm briefly fill in for vacationing Fantastic Four members Reed and Sue Richards before returning to Wakanda. Upon returning to Wakanda alone, leaving Storm in New York to aid the X-Men, Black Panther faces Eric Killmonger, defeating him with assistance from Monica Rambeau, aka Pulsar. Afterwards, Wakanda fends off the alien shapeshifters, the Skrulls, who had infiltrated part of their secret invasion plan to conquer Earth. Namor attempts to recruit T'Challa for the Cabal, a secret council of supervillains. Attacked by the forces of fellow Cabal member Dr. Doom, T'Challa is left comatose. His sister Shuri is trained as the next Panther, with the mantle passing on to her officially after T'Challa awakens from his coma and attempts to recover from his injuries. In the aftermath, T'Challa loses all of his enhanced attributes given to him by being the Panther Totem. As a result, He works with his sorcerer, Zawavari, to accumulate a replacement. He has since made a pact with another unknown Panther deity, returning his attributes to an even higher level as well as placing incantations on his body, making himself highly resistant to most magic and mystic assaults. This has all been done in preparation for the imminent battle with Doctor Doom, which culminated in T'Challa rendering all of his processed vibranium inert to give his people a chance to rebuild without their dependence on the element. After the events of Shadowland, Matt Murdock, the superhero Daredevil, asks T'Challa to replace him as Guardians of Hell's Kitchen, which gives T'Challa the chance to discover himself. With the help of Foggy Nelson, T'Challa assumes the identity of Mr. Okonkwo, an immigrant from the Congo and manager of a diner called Devil's Kitchen, so that he may blend and learn about the denizens as an ordinary man. T'Challa finds himself up against an ambitious new crime lord, Vlad Dinu, who styles himself the Impaler. He also seeks an understanding with the police through Detective Alex Kurtz. During an attempt by Vlad to terminate the Panther, Brian from the Devil's Kitchen is seriously injured by an energy blast from Vlad and is reported dead. The conflict between Vlad and the Panther becomes more personal, especially after Vlad discovers the Panther over his wife Angela dead from a gunshot wound. Shortly after Daredevil's return to Hell's Kitchen, T'Challa returns to Wakanda, serving as a second to his sister Shuri. In preparation for an upcoming attack on Wakanda as part of Avengers vs. X-Men storyline, the Panther God returns T'Challa's abilities. Empowered by the Phoenix, Namor destroys Wakanda with a massive tidal wave. Returning to help, Storm is stunned when the Panther informs her that their marriage has been annulled. After witnessing an alternate Earth over Wakanda being destroyed by the Black Swan, T'Challa reforms the Illuminati, with Beast replacing the now-deceased Charles Xavier to confront the threat of the incursions, parallel universes colliding with each other to the destruction of both. Although able to avert one incursion with the Infinity Gauntlet, the subsequent destruction of the Infinity Gems forces the group to decide to resort to more questionable measures to protect Earth from future incursions, wiping Captain America's mind so he won't remember these events, allowing them to do what needs to be done. Although equipped with planet-destroying weapons to protect Earth, the Illuminati mostly become disgusted with the wholesale slaughter, until Namor breaks off from the group to form a new cabal of villains to do what the heroes won't. Despite Namor's cabal achieving legitimacy as Earth's protectors, Namor grew weary of the wholesale slaughter they carried out in the name of preserving their universe. Although he collaborated with the Illuminati in a plan to destroy the cabal by trapping them on the next Earth to be destroyed, Black Panther and Black Bolt left him behind to die with the cabal. Disgusted at his earlier actions, although Namor and the Cabal escaped to the Ultimate Universe when the other Earth had a simultaneous incursion. When the final incursion occurs during the Secret War storyline, resulting in all realities collapsing into one Earth, Black Panther is one of few heroes to survive the incursion in a specially designed light pod. Other survivors including Mr. Fantastic, Star-Lord, the Peter Parker Spider-Man, the Jane Foster Thor, Captain Marvel, and a Phoenix-enhanced Cyclops, although they are only released into the New World after an 8-year stasis. Retrieved by Doctor Strange, they learn that Strange had assumed the role of sheriff to Doctor Doom, who has appointed himself the god of the new battle world created from the multiple realities. Although Doom effortlessly kills Cyclops, Strange protects the other heroes by dispersing them across Battleworld, with T'Challa and Namor eventually discovering a new version of the Infinity Gauntlet that Strange collected, ensuring that the gems he found will work in the location where Doom built his main fortress. Recruiting the residents of the Deadlands as an army, T'Challa marches on Doom at the same time as multiple other areas rebel against him through the encouragement of the heroes, but admits when Doom confronts him that he was only intended as a distraction while Reed targets Doom's power source. As Reed takes Doom's power and sets out to rebuild the multiverse, T'Challa uses the Time Gem to take himself back to Wakanda before the incursions, proclaiming to his people that they will lead the way to the stars and explore new ideas. I hope you enjoyed the Black Panther Comicology 101 series. Thank you, and class dismissed.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the Black Panther Comicology series, and it's over. No more. That's it. That's it for the Black Panther Comicology series. No more. I won't bore you with any more of it. That is it. It is done. It is over. Finis. 30. Done. I promise. All right. Now let's get to the comic books I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is Back to the Future number 9. This is part 4 of the Continuum Conundrum story arc, and this all gets started when, in the late 1800s, when Doc decides to build a time machine out of a horse carriage. He's successful in doing so, but in terms of going in time, he's successful in doing that, but then he ends up losing his memory when he goes to the year 1986, and he has no memory of who he is. And Marty and Jennifer end up finding him, but then he slowly remembers who he is. But then when they end up finding a time machine in the form of DeLorean, Marty finally realizes, okay, the only way to get Doc's memory back, we have to go back in time. Here we go again. All right, next up is Aquaman number 1. This new series by Dan Abnett and Brad Walker. And Dan Abnett is pretty much hopefully going to live up to the legacy that Jeff Johns started back 5 years ago when he started the previous series. And I just hope that it's really going to live up to that previous series, that, to the previous run that Johns and Jeff Parker had. Expecting great things. And then finally, Action Comics number 958. Now, I read number 957, and it starts off with Lex Luthor stopping some bad guys. And meanwhile, upstate, the Superman from the previous DC universe, the original DC universe, he, Lois, and their son John find out about it, and then all of a sudden Superman's like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna. He's not going to be fighting crime, disrespecting my family shield." So he puts on the costume once more, and he goes off. Then we find out there's another Clark Kent. Uh-oh. All right, that's 3 I bought, which brings the total number of comics I bought since December of 1997 to 7,388. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And again, here's the question for the Comic Hero T question of the week for next week's episode. What is the Green Lantern Oath? Now again, everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free Comic Hero Tee in next week's episode. And if you don't mind buying a Comic Hero Tee for me, for adults, they're $10, and for children, they're $5. Oh, and I forgot to mention this in last week's episode. Congratulations to my good friends, Hillary and Russ Brashear. They got married, and I'm very proud of y'all. Your Comic Hero Tees are on the way, I promise. And also happy first wedding anniversary to my good friends Caleb and Lexi McDaniel. And y'all are getting some Comic Hero Tees as well. So happy anniversary, guys. Oh, and even though it was yesterday, and hey man, don't think I forgot about you. Don't think because I didn't post on your wall yesterday that I forgot about you. Happy 35th birthday to the one and only Bobby Chandler. We love you, Bobby, and we hope you had a great 35th birthday yesterday. Yeah. I would tell you not to do anything stupid, but I know better. But that's it. I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. We'll see you next week for episode 119 right back here at Clint's Comics. So till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.